Live, baby.
I'm live?
You're live. All right, I'll
All
come
by
on.
myself?
All
no,
by yourself.
No, can't do this all by myself.
Okay. welcome, everybody. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm finer than a frog's there.
Oh, are you?
I am. That's pretty fine. So let's get the show on the road, baby. So welcome. It is Brad
and Christa
with the Big Family Homestead live. And I hope that you are ready for another exciting and soon-to-be classic edition of the homestead stuff that we do. Oh my. Well, so let's get cooking. I've got a humongous list here of stuff that we are hoping is going to be a lot of fun. Actually, we got some things planned. We got some giveaways tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Do we now?
Oh, we do. We do. So without any further ado, am I going the wrong one here? I do this every time.
You know, he's supposed to be the techie. However,
I can record albums with my computer. I can do all this video editing. But whatever for the silliest basic thing, it eludes me.
Didn't turn the volume down.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. So who all's here, Mama? Gang's all here?
I don't know yet.
There we go. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Glad we have service.
You are absolutely awesome. So, hope you guys are ready for another exciting and soon-to-be something. Homestead, yay! The explosions, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so hello to Diane, hello to Teresa, hey Prepsteader Bob, Amanda Allen, Daniel Yoder, Amanda Allen, Mary Smith, Donna Hoffman. Welcome to all of you guys. I hope you're getting ready to have a crazy awesome time.
We hope.
I'm ready. We got a teapot, and that's important. You can't really see it, but it's right about there.
Heather at Going Batty, the first time we met, she brought this teapot to me, filled with toffee
And love.
Oh man, it had the best toffee in it.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. It didn't last long.
No, it did not.
It
was
did not
delicious.
last long. So okay, just a recap of the week. Spring cleaning. Mama got a burr in her saddle.
Yeah, it definitely needed to happen. The barn was in desperate need of some cleaning, so we got that done most of the way. The floor just still needs to be power washed, but and then one of the stalls needs to be cleaned out. But then we're good.
She wants to make a few changes in there, just where the animals are going to go and how to sequester them if they need to be sequestered.
Well, I want to hang some curtains as well.
Okay, whatever you say.
Not really. I'm totally kidding.
Whatever you say, baby.
No.
Another thing that we got going this week was the garden is completely planted, and went through and weeded all the stuff. The kids did a lot of that, to be honest. Jonathan led the charge with that, and he's really good at just wrangling the kids and going, all right, we're going to do something. And Ruth just loves being in the garden.
Oh my gosh. When she heard that she was going to get to help weed the garden, she just got giddy. She's like, yay! So.
Well, Donna agrees with you. Donna Hoffman, my house needs a decluttering.
Yeah.
Everything needs a decluttering.
But you can't do it all at once, because then you're just overwhelmed. Pick one area, like a closet, and do the closet first. Or if you feel really, motivated, do the entire room. I would start with the closet first.
Oh my gosh. Well, and here's the thing too, I still have a recording studio full of equipment, and when my dad came up visiting from Florida, he couldn't use a lot of the stuff that he had that I actually learned how to do recording on. And so he brought the stuff that he couldn't use anymore, and so it was just a downhill slide from there, and I literally have to step over piles of cables because I've just not had enough time to get it cleaned up.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, well.
Nobody goes in there except me, but.
And our room, our bedroom was clean.
Yeah.
And it was organized. Our room was organized, which it has never been in years. Because it's always been like a catch-all.
Yeah, it's the buffer. Think of it as like the green zone.
The green zone. Yeah, well.
Green is for go.
Now the whole empty wall that we had is now full of boxes and gear, and that's okay.
Here's a comment that is well worth mentioning. Rock's Corner says, we're fixing to get closed on our almost 8 acres at the end of the month. So excited. Well done. Good for
Super
you.
happy for you guys. That's
That's
amazing.
actually one of the things we're going to talk about today is how to get into property with 0 down. Goose egg money. But we're going to do that a little bit later. We also have a giveaway, guys. I have got goodies.
Oh, and you're lucky he's sharing these.
I don't share, and these we're gonna give away them.
Those.
They are ridiculously awesome. Other stuff this week. The farrier.
Yes, our awesome farrier came out to work on Eeyore's hooves again and getting them to where they need to be. I mean, she's about an 8-year-old donkey and has never had her hooves done. So this is the third time she's come out. She is a very reasonably priced farrier. Super sweet gal, super patient. I mean, she worked with Eeyore for an hour the other day. And at first, the first 2 times she came out, we had to put Eeyore in the stanchion. Well, that was when Eeyore was pregnant. Now now she has a baby and was not going anywhere without that baby. Right. So we put her in the old goat stall that we had all the goats and Dottie in, and she did fantastic. She stood perfectly. It was amazing. So I was super excited. Super psyched about that for Eeyore.
I forget what I was doing. I think I was editing video for the beginning part of when she was here.
Yeah, I think so.
Because when I came out, everything was just fine.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
They had it under control. Also, high school graduation.
Yeah, high school graduation.
This week?
Yep. Well, no, the parties are this week. The graduation was last week.
Right.
But, yeah, Claire's boyfriend has graduated. Jonathan is graduated.
Valedictorian.
Yes, he was valedictorian, so that was really, really cool. So, yeah.
Other stuff. We got a lot. We did a ton of stuff this week.
Yeah.
It has been smoking hot here until the last 2 days.
Yeah, well,
we got to 92.
Yeah, it was insane. I think 94 one day, but
oh dear Lord.
Yeah, it was to the point where I was just miserable. I mean, I was irritable and just couldn't cool down unless I took a cold shower, and so we broke down and bought a window unit.
Yeah, it's back there. I don't know. I think you can see it. Yeah, you can see it over Christa's shoulder there. Right. But it has been amazingly nice.
Yeah.
What you can also see that Prepsteader Bob will very, very much not be happy with is you can see that I didn't put the duct tape below the unit there. There's a sliver that goes out, and I know if I don't do it, we're gonna get bugs.
Yeah, shame on you.
I will.
I didn't know you were supposed to do that.
I will remedy the situation right after the show. Also, stuff. We went to Minocqua.
We did. We went to Minocqua and had some fun with a couple friends of ours. We saw, what did we go? We went to a bunch of different thrift stores. Ooh, I have to show you what I found.
What'd you found?
That.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I can chat. A lot of antique stores. We actually went with Prepsteader Bob and his lovely bride, and they'd been there many times before, and they took us to all the cool spots. We got some saltwater taffy while we were there. There's an incredible toy shop where it was actually like really toys and not just video games and stuff. But Christa found the deal of the century here.
Totally.
It's like a sewing box, I guess you could say. Can you see that? And it opens up like such. Boom, boom, boom. Like that. All her sewing things.
These open up. Oh my gosh. And you're never going to guess how much we got it for.
Actually, there. Who's the first guess?
Well, and Prepsteader Bob
cannot
guess.
You're not allowed to guess.
Yeah.
So, who has a guess as how much we paid in an antique store for that?
Yes.
Antique.
Okay, normal. No, too low.
Nope. 25, getting warmer. 35, 10. What do you? Okay. Lower than 25. Yes.
Lower than 25. Higher than 10.
Yeah. Lower than 25. Higher than 10. Nuno's the closest so far. Archer Mist is the very closest.
Yep.
Somewhere between Nuno and Arch, and
yeah.
17, Grape Tomato Girl got it.
Grape Tomato Girl, I paid $16.95 plus tax for that awesome find, and I actually have been looking for one of those for years.
And if you will send us your address,
Yep.
you have just won some delicious cookies and cream,
Yes.
ice cream, freeze-dried bites.
Yep.
This is my stash, and since
Yeah.
we've been a little more healthy, I'm sharing. So share us your address to info.bigfamilyhomestead@gmail.com.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, don't
we've
put your
got a few
address on
more.
here.
We got a few more things to give away. We got 3 more.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna write
goody,
that down.
goody. Yeah. So that's Grape Tomato Girl.
Oh, what do they call those? I'm thinking it's just a sewing box,
Yeah, it's a sewing box.
but I'm not exactly sure.
Wow.
Great.
Hey, Life Unwired, Rock's Corner, everybody, gang's all here. Okay, cool. Moving on. We also had, we've been, oh no, this was funny. This is going to be seen in a video, I think, coming out on Wednesday. Because we'd had a bunch of vlog type stuff that it just wasn't going to work with our schedule to put it out tomorrow. So it's going to go to Wednesday. But the funny thing is that at the very end of the day, Christa and I decided, hey, let's go take an ATV ride. And we looked at the weather and it was clear skies. But as soon as we started driving on the way back home, we were about 5 miles away and it started pouring down rain. Mm-hmm. And you couldn't go faster than 20 because it was stinging your face.
Yeah. Yeah, the raindrops would hit you in the forehead and just it felt like ice hitting you, but I know it was water.
And it was like on your lips and stuff. It would sting really bad.
Yeah.
But that's coming up in a video in the near future. And other than that, I think Comfrey.
Oh my goodness.
Do you know what the Comfrey plant is? If you don't, and you're into self-reliance, you're gonna want to know what comfrey is. In the Appalachian Mountains, they call it knit bone. And there's a reason for that. You can take these leaves of the comfrey plant and smash them up and stick it on a wound or even a broken arm, and it will heal up your wound way, way, way faster than conventional stuff.
Yep.
And the reason why is the plant has an incredibly deep taproot, so it's pulling nutrients from so many different sources that most plants only go this deep or this deep, but this one goes way deep.
Yeah.
And well, you got some for free.
I did. We went this week to go get some more feed for the animals. We get our feed from an Amish fella not too far from here, and he's a super neat guy, really is. And so we're chatting about a bunch of stuff. I was gonna say, you need another pen?
No, I was trying to get it going. I remembered something I didn't want to forget.
Okay. So we're chatting about different things, and he's asking us about one. I don't even remember what the item was called. And Brad's like, "Well, hold on, I'll look it up on my phone." And when we got there, the shop was closed. He was inside reading a hunting magazine.
Yeah,
so
he told us.
I got tickled with that. But anyhow, so we're standing there talking, and I'm noticing his little feeder pigs that he's got in a hay ring with some wire mesh around it. And they're in his garden. He's just moving this thing around, and the pigs are digging up through the dirt and eating all the weeds and stuff like that. Well, there was comfrey all along the side there.
She spotted it right away.
And I said, "Was that comfrey there?"
And he said, yeah, it takes over the whole garden.
Yeah,
I hate
he's
it.
like, "That's why I have the pigs there to eat that all down." I said, "Well, do you mind if I take a few plants?"
He was trying to get rid of them, and we're like, no, we'll take it.
Well, take it. I've been dying to find some anyway. So he sent his daughter Martha, which she is an absolute sweetheart. "Martha, go get a box and a shovel."
She was off.
So she came right back a few minutes later. I went into that garden straight away and digging up those plants, and it was great.
Yeah.
So we got them planted in a barrel for right now until we can find a better spot, and I want them to come back really nicely before I get them in the ground.
And an interesting thing about comfrey, if you don't know what the plant is, there's a ton of uses for it. It's really, really high in protein. You can give it to your animals, and it just keeps coming back. But a word of caution: don't put it anywhere you want other plants to be, because it will take over.
Yeah.
It will absolutely take over, and it is a nightmare to get rid of. If you accidentally put it in someplace where you don't want it, like I said, that tap root goes so far down, you have to get rid of every speck of it.
Yep.
Or else it just comes right back.
It keeps coming back. It's like oregano.
Yes.
It's like a bad rash.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, it has come to that portion of the evening where you are not only allowed to shamelessly plug any channel you want, including your own. You're not only allowed, you're encouraged. Who you watching? Who do you want people to see? We're going to do our channel shout-outs right now, and Mama's going to read as many of them as she can. I will jump in and tell you our channel shout-out, but on your mark, get set, go. Whose channels are you watching? Who you plugging?
All right. Lumna Acres, Ice Poseidon, Hubbard Homesteadish, Rain Country, Lumna Acres, Blue Cactus Dairy Goats,
That sounds
Andrea
interesting.
Mills, yeah, Rocks Corner, Homesteady, the Whole Weekend Homestead, Powers Homestead,
Oop,
Linda's
just
Pantry.
got fast.
Yeah, I know it did. Prep Setter Bob, Going Back. Oh, geez.
Keep going, Mama. You got
New
this.
tutorial. Scotty Kilmer, Tiny House Prepper, Sow the Land, Gavin Weber, The Needy Homesteader, Our Half Acre Homestead, Ice Poseidon, Not a Farm Girl, Out in the Country, Timmy Xander, I'm not even going to say his last name because I'll butcher it, Art and Bree, An American Homestead, Deep South Homestead, Gilbert Farms, Bandana Grandma, watching Mapleberry something, I missed it, Tiny House Prepper, Scrap Pallet Man.
Ooh, that sounds
Cool,
like fun.
yeah. John Maxwell, Out of Goshen, SSL Family Dad, Lynn's Raised, Off Grid Nation, Erica's Homestead. Turn it, she skipped it. I didn't see it. Whatever it was. Read it again. Do it again.
Okay, you guys can keep shouting out your channels, but we're going to go ahead and tell you our channel shout out of the evening, and that is BC Truck.
Yeah.
Like BC as in before Christ truck.
Yeah.
His name's Brad, and he is so creative with tools and repurposing things and coming up with stuff out of nothing. And I just love it. And he, I don't know if he's still doing it, but he makes these custom knives, or did. I'm not sure if he still does. But he makes these custom knives that are just beautiful.
Yeah.
You had one at one point called the Swamp Diva.
Yes. Yes.
I
That's
mean,
awesome.
beautiful, woodwork, and the cutlery itself was a thing of beauty, and it just felt right in your hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, BC Truck, we salute you. Go ahead and open up another tab. Go ahead and subscribe to BC Truck. And I tell you what, I'm feeling generous tonight. So if you watch a few of his videos and you say, Brad, what gives? I don't like this video. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you double your money back of what it costs you to watch those videos. So, there you go. BC Truck. All right. So, now, okay, I think we should do probably, pause, ding dong, Brad. The theme tonight, guys, is if you pick up on a conversation, remember how we did movie quotes last week? And if a movie quote was appropriate to put in somewhere, you put it in. This time it's song lyrics.
Oh, geez.
Song lyrics. So
I can't do that.
If we said that, hey, we had to make our way to Minocqua, you could say, well, you were rambling on, like Led Zeppelin. You could say something like that. So song lyrics, ready? Here you go. And we're going to talk about our health stuff. Let's do that. So you start.
Hold on, real quick question. Is Comfrey antibiotic?
It is not an antibiotic that I am aware of.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Okay. So, health update, drinking lots more water. Lost a couple more pounds. So, I had a healthy dinner, I should say.
Yeah.
And it was a light dinner, which was good. I think if I eat my heavier meal in the middle of the day and then have something light at the end of the day or for dinner time, then, that should be good. But
RG Homestead, how are you two youngsters doing tonight? I am well, sir, and thank you for asking.
Youngsters. I'm doing fantastic, thank you.
Whippersnappers.
Whippersnappers.
So, okay, my portion of this is my blood pressure is starting to come down, which is good. And I have lost 3 pounds so far.
Yep.
And I need to drink more water, but you know, it's one of those things where you just got to get in and get used to it and change your habit.
Yes. Yeah, it's a lifestyle change with, you know, your eating habits. Over the years you've gotten into this routine of eating garbage, and it's going to take a few weeks to get into the routine of eating healthier.
Yeah, what she said, I agree totally. It's got to just be a change, a life change, and you got to think. I mean, we didn't get this way overnight. It took many years.
Oh, many
years. Moons.
Yes.
Have packed all this on there. I can't just.
You have many moons packed on you?
I do. They're right here. And you know, side note, every once in a while you hear of somebody who's so desperate to get thin that they try to actually do surgery on themselves.
Oh gosh, that's
It's
so
happened.
gross.
And oh my gosh, that's just, you know, maybe we should sell an at-home surgery kit.
No.
No?
No.
Bad idea.
No, bad idea.
Bad idea. I have many moons too, says Noah Zark.
Yeah, Nikki Jones says moon pies.
Moon pies. Yeah, so okay, this week we did a video on canning lard because
we processed our pigs, and we had lots of lard. We had 2 boxes.
that were thawing out.
Yes, we have another box that has to get finished. Oh my gosh, lard, baby.
Thank you, mother of many horses, who's saying that was a good video.
Yes, that was the first time we had done lard, and a friend of ours, Prepsteader Bob, told us how to do it and make sure that you have it on a low heat so that there's no smoking. If you turn the heat up too high and melt the fat too quickly, that's when you get the smoking and the nasty, stinky smell in the house.
Yeah.
There was no smell in the house other than the smell of oil. You know, it did not have...
It didn't feel gross.
No, it did not. So we did 2 huge pots full of oil on electric burners. Now, the nice thing I like about the electric burners is because I can control the temperature easier than with propane. So that was, getting those electric burners was a godsend, actually.
Yep. So. And we're going to move on in here in just a second to another topic. But before I do, we're going to do some Q&A tonight. So don't ask the questions just yet, but I'm just warning you in advance. That way, if you want to ask us something, there will be a time to do that. So if you can write down whatever you need so you don't forget it.
Yeah.
But we'll do some Q&A a little bit later. But what is Christa crocheting this week?
Well, I'm still working on my blanket, but every once in a while when I get bored with that, I'll do something else. So I made a couple of these jar hanger, koozie, whatever they're called. But I thought, you know, I hate when I have a glass and it's warm outside and it sweats. So these little coolie things, or koozies, whatever people call them, I don't know. But, and that way then, if your chair doesn't have, if like you're outside and your chair does not have a cup holder, you can hang it on the seat. So,
Or they make great earrings too.
Okay. that would work too. And then coordinating a little blanket or a little hand towel and wash rag. So that's what I made this week.
Nice. Nice. Okay, the meat and potatoes of the evening. The topic of conversation tonight is a program that the USDA puts out that you can get land or property extremely cheap. In most cases, it's zero money down. And we know for a fact that it works because we used to be in a house that we got that way. And some friends of ours who we told about the program got it also. And so I figured we'd talk a little bit on that because I know there's a lot of folks who say, man, I really wish I could be in a homestead. I wish I could do what you're doing. And they just kind of throw their hands up because they feel like it's out of reach. Maybe it's you. And you say, well, I don't make that much money. Well, it's called the USDA Rural Development Program. And it's specifically designed for folks who don't make a lot of money.
Right.
They have you go through a process, and there are certain areas that you cannot get the property in, like metropolitan centers or big cities, because they're wanting to develop the outer rim, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we went through the program, and we were kind of a funny thing, because if you remember a few years back when the government shutdown happened, we had put in our application right then.
Yeah.
And it got lost in the shuffle. But then when we came back to it, and we just basically asked the folks, hey, what gives? They pushed it through, and then we were right off of the races.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it was an amazing. It was kind of a long process and tedious, but it's well worth the time and effort that it takes to go through that and get that done.
Well, Mama Hubbard says, we were told no farm buildings allowed if buying pre-built or building. I know that each area that you are in has different rules.
Yes, yeah.
Where we were at, that didn't matter at all. The funny thing where we were was they just said you can't have more than an acre.
No, it was you can't have more than 2 acres, which didn't really make sense for rural development.
Right.
And the house couldn't be bigger than 1,800 square feet.
Right. And so we had to jump through some hoops.
Mm-hmm.
But it truly was zero money down.
Right.
You know,
right.
The other thing they make you do is they make you take a class on home ownership and basic finance. And it was an online class. It took us probably, a good 4 hours altogether?
Yeah.
Because you can break it up into chunks. And what they're trying to do is they're just trying to make sure that, hey, when you get into this place, you're not going to be in danger of getting out of it.
Right, exactly. They want you to be able to manage it properly and make sure your payments are paid on time. And they also had a thing where if you couldn't make your payments, that you could call them and they would, like if you lost your job, then they would defer that for a certain amount of time so that, that you wouldn't foreclose on the house.
Donna Hoffman, confirm please. Is it USDA Rural Land Development? Yes. And they have a couple different loan programs. One we did not go through. One is insured, and one is a direct loan from the government.
Guaranteed.
And what one was like, that would have been way much a nightmare. The government and the bank, a local bank, work together, and they say, okay, people, we want this loan to come together. And all that happens is the bank says, okay, we'll give you the loan, but if you default, the government's paying for it.
Right.
We didn't go that route because it was like 10 times more of a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
So we actually got our loan directly from the government. When we wrote our check for our mortgage, it went to the government.
They went to the USDA, yeah.
Now, I will say that we had a unique situation in that they are really, really vigilant about making sure that the home that you're buying is perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Making sure that GCFI outlets.
Yeah,
I've got those probably those initials.
GFI.
Yeah. But the outlets for the bathrooms and the kitchens, those had to be replaced because they were not those kind of outlets, and making sure the window springs worked.
There were some of the things that were just silly.
Yeah, we had a porch that had, I think, 9 or 10 windows in it, and some of the springs on the windows didn't work. I'm like, okay, there's 10 windows. Why do they all have to work? It's really kind of a picky thing, but we had to fix the springs.
Yeah. So there are hoops that you have to jump through, but we ended up doing really well on that house. I thought we were not going to make any money on it, but turns out when we sold everything, we made a nice chunk of money, and it was because we got it at the zero down, and then the market went up.
Yep.
And so we wanted to share that with you guys. It is the USDA Rural Development Program.
Yep.
And when you go to the website, they're going to ask you a few questions, and they'll pre-qualify you right then if you qualify for the loan program. And like I said before, the cool thing is that it actually benefits the little guy. You have much more better chance of getting the loan if you have a very low income.
Yeah, low income, and if your credit is not that great.
They don't really care.
No, they think it was. I think it was a 620.
Yeah, it was 620, I think, was
Yeah.
the minimum.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, if you're going through a conventional bank, 620, oh my gosh, you might not even get the loan.
Yeah.
But, you know, all that to say that it has worked for us and it's worked for some friends of ours. And I know that it's out there. So if you guys are out there going, hey, man, I wish I could do what you're doing, this might be something for you to look into. I saw in the comments, there were, I believe I saw at least one person who said that they went through the program to get the place they're at.
Yeah. Ellen's saying, do they assume that you're a first-time home buyer? That was why they had you go through the online program. They wanted to make sure that you knew what to do, when to take care of certain things in the house. But you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. I mean, we had owned several homes before then in different areas, and so that was not a requirement.
Right, right. And a lot of people are saying it's very similar to a VA loan. And it is, I don't know how VA loans work. I know, was there any money down?
I don't think so with a VA.
Right.
And I know that the loan that we had got with the last house, it was a 33-year loan. And I think our percentage was like 3 3/4%. So it was a really low interest rate compared to what was going on in the market. It was like, I think it was about 0.5% lower than what was in the market.
Couple questions. Jennifer Filiaw says, can you get the loan only once? I don't know.
I don't know.
And Tammy 1960, are you renting or buying? Right now, the place we're living in is a lease purchase agreement.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
well, and I saw Powers Homestead, they're going to do a VA loan, but they're actually going to be coming up here.
Oh, really?
To look at a house somewhere in Wisconsin. So,
as Brad pensively strokes his beard.
Yeah, send us a message. Let us know where you're going.
Rock's Corner says, should we roll the insurance and taxes into the monthly payment?
Yes, that makes life so much easier because you don't have to set aside a certain amount for taxes and insurance. It is rolled into your monthly payment. The mortgage company pays the taxes and insurance like clockwork, on time or even ahead of time.
Right.
And they will adjust the payment if your taxes or insurance changes. So if it goes up some, then it spreads it out throughout the year of the loan, or throughout that tax year. I think that happened to us once where it went up and then another year it had gone down. So it was a kind of a nice break when your payment went down a little bit due to that. But you weren't having to worry about setting aside that money. So it was just already done and taken care of. It was just less headache.
Okay, Babs is asking, what does that mean, Brad? I'm assuming you're talking about our lease purchase. The way that it works is you give the owner of the property a chunk of money up front this is earnest money. Here it is. It could be $500, could be $5,000, whatever it is that you work out with the people who own the home. And then you start paying a lease payment, but you have a time limit in which you have to go get a loan or you leave. And they get to keep that money that was the upfront money.
Right.
So you got skin in the game saying, hey, I'm going to go get a mortgage, and I'm willing to go ahead and put this X amount of dollars up front, that if I don't get the loan, that it's yours.
Right.
And then they get the house back.
Right. Okay, Rock's Corner saying, but wouldn't we be able to pay the principal down quicker? Not necessarily. You would, because, okay, say your monthly payment is $1,000 just for the principal and interest. Then you have taxes and insurance on top of that. Property taxes and homeowners insurance. And that's $200. So your monthly payment would be $1,200 every month over the course of that particular year. Now, if you wanted to pay your principal down faster, you would add another $200 or $300 to that monthly payment. But make sure you mark that in your memo that I'm paying this amount extra for principal.
Yeah.
And that way, then
they'll
apply it to your principal balance, and then you can pay it off quicker.
Quick side here to Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin. Mega Fred Zeppelin, I don't know if you've heard the band Greta Van Fleet, But there's these kids. I don't think they're even 20 years old, and they are a carbon copy of Led Zeppelin. I heard a song on the radio, and I was like, "What? Is this a Led Zeppelin song that's new? I haven't heard it." And I kid you not, shocked the stew out of me. Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah.
So that's for you, my friend. So U.S. Rural Development Program. It might be something worth looking into, guys. The money's there, and we're all paying taxes, so we all have an equal claim to those benefits if you fit.
Exactly.
So check it out. Yeah, Greta Van Fleet is awesome. That's
they're
true.
from Michigan.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about this tonight. We made a video outlining there's some new policies in Thrive Life. You guys know that we sell the Thrive Life stuff, and tonight we're going to give away some more Thrive Life stuff. But we actually made a slight miscalculation in one of the things, and that's why I actually pulled the video down when I found out.
Right. The actual, the correction is you do need to sign up as a preferred customer to receive the preferred customer.
We have to tell them what that means to get the free shipping.
Yeah, to receive the free shipping is what I was going to say.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't understand that you were coming at it. Please continue, baby.
Okay. So with Thrive Life, they used to have a program called Delivery Customer. Well, to do that, you had to sign up for a 3-month commitment. That is no longer the case. You do still need to sign up to be a delivery customer, but there is no fee that is gone. There is also no 3-month commitment. You can sign up to be a delivery customer, and then all of the items that you buy that are preferred items, you would get free shipping on if you spend over $100.
Yep.
So I apologize for making that error today in that video.
It was me too. We watched the information from the president of the company, and
misunderstood.
I'm not sure how. I don't think we misunderstood, but we'll say we misunderstood.
We misunderstood.
Yeah, we'll say.
Yeah.
But bottom line is this: is that if you want to get in on that free shipping, you got to sign up for the deliveries, but there's no commitment involved.
No, there is no commitment whatsoever. There's no. They used to charge $80 if you didn't want to be part of the commitment, but that is no longer. You just have to buy the preferred items to get free shipping. Now, there's items like rice and brown sugar and things like that.
Don't apply.
They don't apply. It's only the freeze-dried items that you get the free shipping on if you spend over $100 in your delivery.
All right, Mama. I am thinking it's about time to give away some more delightful cookies and cream, freeze-dried Oreo Bytes.
Okay.
This is a nice big bag. And it says actually here that there's 3 servings in a container, but I'll tell you what, if you get out a little spoon, you only need a few bites to be happy, because it tastes like cookies and cream ice cream.
Well, and they don't sell this on a regular basis.
Yeah.
This item we got last April.
I was teasing the company about it. I was like, you know what? If the zombie apocalypse comes and I don't have freeze-dried ice cream, I am personally not happy with you.
Exactly. So guess what? They had freeze-dried ice cream.
And we bought a lot of it.
Yeah.
So, but one quick question before, because we're going to give some of this away. Where was it?
David says, does Thrive ship free to Canada too?
If you do what we just suggested, yes. Yeah. Yep, same thing. Okay, so if you want to win a bag of this delightful goodies, you have to figure out, I think, actually, you know what? We have talked about it. We've talked about it, yeah. Okay. How did Christa and I meet? Yeah. The first person that gets close gets the ice cream goodies. How did Christa and I first meet? And I can tell you truthfully, it was not last week.
Thankfully.
It was a long time ago.
I mean, 7 kids. Whew.
Tammy says, church. That was not our first time.
No.
Busy Mama at a show, kind of. Noah's Ark's got it closest. I think Noah's Ark's the winner.
Yes.
At a concert.
Wait,
yeah,
no.
It was a concert.
Look. Molly's got it.
Well, yeah, but she got it first. We got to go with the concert.
Okay. Well, okay, Molly, I'll send you some too.
She's gonna get you some too.
Yeah, because
it was,
she's on it, right? Just Wow, good memory.
But who was it?
Oh, I don't know.
We got to go back. Yeah, scroll back.
Supermarket. She was your groupie. That's funny.
High school. No. You will find it.
Yeah.
What happened was this: she's right. It was a barbershop quartet contest
Was it this one or this one?
at a show. We're gonna go with Busy Mama.
Okay.
Busy Mama. Send us your email or your address. Info.bigfamilyhomestead@gmail.com. Yeah, you win. But you got to email us or else we don't know where to send it. But it was a barbershop quartet contest.
Yeah.
And I sang, Daddy sang bass.
Mama sang tenor.
Me and little, no, sorry.
I don't
So
sing.
we're doing
I play
music
the
stuff.
radio.
Catherine Turner, are they going to be selling Thrive over here in the UK? Yes.
Yes.
Just be patient.
Yes. We're not
It's
exactly.
not ready yet, but yes.
Yeah.
And trust me, the prices that you're going to get this stuff for there are going to be so much better than the stuff you're buying right now as, quote, fresh.
Right.
Because I know what those prices are over there. And you're going to love it, but not yet.
Oh, my ears. Behave yourself,
Come
Tim.
on, Tim. What's wrong with a little bit of Johnny Cash, you know? He's the man in black.
Oh, all right. Don't call her a brat, Tim. Come on now. She is a sweetheart.
She's actually at her boyfriend Cody's graduation party.
Yep. We gave her the evening off.
Yeah. Daddy sang bass.
I play the radio, dear. I don't sing.
So, okay. Yeah, we were at a barbershop quartet
contest,
and one of the guys that was in one of the quartets was dating Christa. And I was like, who is this young lady? I didn't actually say anything then, though.
No, he did not. So
it was later at a church. I guess you'd call it a choir tour.
yes, yeah, it was our church choir tour, and we needed a bass player. And the guys that went to school with Brad knew that he played guitar. So he's like, well, I'll fake playing bass. And he did really, really well because it's very similar.
It was really funny, too, because if you guys know any of the like campish Baptist tunes, this was a Baptist church, a big Baptist church. And there's a composer named Camp Kirkland. And he does a lot of this up-tempo brass and all this kind of orchestrated stuff. And it was all the running bass lines. Doom, 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 doom. I was totally guessing. But I faked it good enough where they were just happy as clams.
Oh, yeah. So we had gone on a 2-week trip. We went up to New York City and Toronto. And
does anybody... I'm sorry, go ahead.
it was awesome.
Does anybody have a really, really crazy story how you met your significant other? Because I'm seeing some people are saying, hey, I met through an ex-boyfriend of mine, says Ellen.
Yeah.
Tammy 1960, are you guys looking forward to meeting out of Goshen tomorrow? Actually, that's changed.
One of our little ones was ill.
Yeah.
So.
I just got off the phone with Eric a little bit ago, and it's going to be probably Wednesday.
Yeah.
Probably Wednesday.
Yep.
So, I have mutual friends at a Star Trek party.
That's awesome.
We've got to keep moving because Will at the Weekend Homestead is back on tonight. So when we're done, we're going to go over to Will's channel and then heckle him some.
Yeah.
But I have some big news for you guys. Big news.
Oh, yeah. I hate it when he does that because I'm like, okay, what are you going to tell that you didn't talk to me first about?
No, we talked about this.
I know, I just forgot about it.
We will be hosting, along with the Weekend Homestead, a get-together, a meetup. And this will be our second annual here, but our third annual, because we did one in Ohio a long time ago.
Yep.
And then we did one with Will at his place last year. And then this year, it's going to be the last week of September.
What are those dates?
And it's the last week of September, and the meetup will be in Hayward, Wisconsin.
Yes, that's the 29th and 30th.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and Will has a gorgeous place.
Oh, yeah.
It's gorgeous. I mean, you got to see his orchard. It's ridiculous. It's like, is this Eden?
Right. He's got these beautiful, huge tall fences so that the deer don't come in and eat his fruit. And he's got just tons of trees and raspberries that were blooming in October last year. And I will admit, I did eat a few. They were delightful.
Yeah, so the last weekend of September, we're going to work out all the details, but last year Will allowed people to bring their travel trailers and set up so that they could camp. And there were people that actually camped. There were some folks who drove, I couldn't believe it, they drove from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Drove from Tennessee.
That's dedication.
Well, and I cannot for the life of me remember this lady's name. She was really sweet.
Yeah, I know.
Brought me a big thing of marshmallows.
Oh, it was a bag this huge of the Lucky Charms type marshmallows.
Yeah.
It was humongous. It took us, 6 months to go through those? The kids would eat Cheerios or Rice Krispies.
And then put it in
They'd
there.
take a handful of them and put them in there. Now they take blueberries and strawberries out of the Thrive cans and put them in their cereal.
Which is great because it's
So
actual
yummy.
real fruit.
Yeah.
Last time there was a gentleman who brought an apple press and they made fresh cider on. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And people brought food. There were so many different kind of things, and we got to hang out with everybody. Brought ATVs.
Yeah. Will's got some great trail rides through there, so it was really fun.
And a gorgeous piece of property, and he's an excellent host along with his family. They're they're really beautiful people.
Yes, they really are.
And so be looking for that last week of September. We're going to talk more and more about it as it comes up because I know that's quite a journey for some of you guys. But it would be great to come and hang out. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a bunch of channels there. And
Yep. Well, actually, I remember Rick and Alicia were there last year. Yep. And you just had a baby too, just recently, right?
Didn't she?
I think Alicia just had a baby.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think it's time to switch over into game mode.
Okay.
Have you guys, and by the way, I love you guys entering all the different song reference things. I think it's really funny and awesome. Oh, Jennifer's got to go. Good night. Okay.
Good night, Jennifer.
The game for this evening is going to be, 2 lies and a truth.
Yes.
2 lies and a truth. And what that means is that I'm going to read to you 3 statements, and only one of them's true, and you got to decide. So I'll start with one of me, and then we'll do one of Christa.
All right. I gotta write these down. Go ahead.
Are we doing these as?
I thought we were doing these as giveaways.
No, we got another thing for a giveaway.
Okay, never mind.
This is just fun.
Okay.
Okay. Excuse me. All right. Which of these 3 statements is the truth about me? Number 1. Got my leg caught in a sewer drain trying to retrieve a $20 bill. I went skydiving, or I played soccer at the college level. So which one of those is the truth? Leg caught in a sewer drain trying to get $20, skydiving, or played soccer at the college level? What do we got?
3, 4.
What do we got? What do we got?
Soccer.
Gregory Stacy's got it.
Gregory.
Skydiving.
Right, yep.
I when I was in a band, you got to do a lot of crazy cool things that a lot of people don't get to do. And we were playing this show, and it was in the middle of Florida. And this guy comes up, he goes, "You know what? We should take you guys skydiving." And I totally thought he was kidding. And he goes, "No. There's an airstrip right over there. They do it all the time. I've been skydiving my whole life, and blah blah blah." And so we're just like, you know what? You only live once. Let's do this.
Well, and it made me angry because I was pregnant with our first
She
child.
couldn't go.
No, I didn't want to go. I didn't want you to go.
Oh.
Because I was pregnant with our first child, and thankfully, we were
I lived.
smart enough. No, we were smart enough. We had our life insurance policies already.
Yeah.
So he asked me before he gets on the plane, "Is the life insurance paid up?"
Yeah. And I can't see. L. McCauley asks, "Were you scared?" I really wasn't. And because when you don't know what you're doing, there's only one of 2 ways that they'll let you skydive. One is the cord is pulled as you get out of the plane, so you don't have any free fall. Or the other way is you are locked in, strapped into another human. There's a dude on your back. And that was the way we did it, because that way you could do the free fall.
Right.
And I will never, ever, ever do it again.
Thankfully.
And it doesn't have anything to do with being scared. It has to do with, think about this. You got 250 pounds of Brad, and all of it's resting on about this much strap on the upper inner part of your crotchal zone.
Your thighs, honey.
And so, and so when they pull that cord, that's what you're sitting on for about another 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It was painful.
Okay, El McCauley says it's Krista's turn to do it now.
All right.
No, I will never, ever fly out of a plane. Jump out of a plane. I don't even like flying in a plane.
Oh, yeah.
I had the worst anxiety a year and a half ago when I went to David's Army graduation. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
All right, Krista's 3 statements. One of them is the truth. The other 2 are lies.
All right, so I sang opera in a college choir.
Okay.
I climbed Mount Rainier, and I was a Boy Scout leader.
So which ones again?
I sang opera in a college choir. I climbed Mount Rainier, and I was a Boy Scout leader.
Which one is the truth?
A purple smoothie got it.
A purple smoothie got it.
Yes, I was a Boy Scout leader when our our 2 older boys were much younger.
It was Cub Scouts. But
Yeah, it was Cub
Yeah.
Scouts. I shouldn't say Boy Scouts. I was Cub Scout leader. But it was funny because some folks picked opera, and I said just a little, not even 20 minutes ago, I don't sing. I play the radio.
That's funny, actually. That's really funny.
So, anyway.
Rock's Corner. Ugh, my phone is so slow. Sorry about that. Okay, we got about 8 minutes before we will say sayonara. We've got one more on me. Oh, you got to hit the camera. You got to hit it right on the eyeball.
No, I missed.
Close.
I got bad aim.
Close. Okay.
I hit the phone. But...
3
All right,
statements. One is true, and this is back about me. All right. Brad once had a guitar amp that was taller than he was, and when I would play it, it one time broke out some windows. Number 2, Brad played in front of 3 million people. Number 3, Brad got stuck in a porta potty for 3 hours. So, amp bigger than me, breaking the windows. Brad played in front of 3 million people, or Brad got stuck in the porta potty for 3 hours. What do we got?
Jody Bean got it right away.
Jody Bean got it. But look at all these people that are thinking that that's so funny, porta potty. Gregory, what are you doing to me here, man? Prep Sitter Bob, 3 million people. No, that's actually true.
It is true. It is very true.
Okay, so I really did have
an amp.
An amp that was taller than me, and it did crack a window.
Huh? You said you had told
That's
me.
the lie. I never got stuck in a porta potty.
2 of them are supposed to be a lie. So this one is partially.
No.
Yes. That's what you told me last time.
No, it's there's only one truth.
Right. You can't pick 2.
This is the first one is like a spin because I did have an amp that was bigger than me.
Yeah.
But it never broke any windows.
Okay, that's what I said. So it's partially true, but partially false. The second one is the truth, where Brad played in front of 3 million people in Rome, Italy,
for the
Pope,
John Paul II.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they were not all there to see us. Shockingly, they were there to see the Pope.
Right.
Yep. But it was kind of crazy because the crowd was so big that your peripheral vision couldn't pick it up.
Yeah.
You had to turn your head to see the side of the crowd, and then you had to turn your head the other way just to see the other side of the crowd. Mm-hmm. They had built this gigantic structure. There was probably a good 50 feet in the air, maybe 40 feet in the air, but it was all plywood and 2x4s and this gigantic stair thing. And then they had, fire trucks driving back and forth, hosing the kids down because it was hot.
So hot, yeah. It was in the middle of August.
It was hot. Yep. And I'll tell you what, the weird thing is that there were dudes with Uzis everywhere.
So weird.
Everywhere. The entire perimeter had guys with Uzis about every 50 feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what was really strange is that when you play for shows that big, here's a little, okay, let me back up. Dirty little secret of the recording industry. I'm sure you guys have all seen where a band or a singer will be on Saturday Night Live and all of a sudden they're not moving their mouth right.
But the music's still going.
Mm-hmm. That's because they're not singing. There. And from a studio perspective, they actually give you what is called a TV track, television track. So it's perfect according to the studio, and then they give you the producers this, and they do the playback, and you're literally just lip syncing. Because they're afraid they don't want you to screw it up in front of so many people.
Right.
So the dirty little secret is everybody does it. When you're talking about those kind of big shows, most people do. I'm not just going to say everybody does it, because I'll tell you what, and I'm going to shut up after this, but I am not a Prince fan, Purple Rain, Prince.
Yeah.
However, it was a few Super Bowls ago, had to be like maybe 8 Super Bowls ago or something, and he refused to do anything canned.
Right.
He said, I'm going to play it live.
Yeah.
We're going to do it live, everything, singing, band, everything.
And he nailed it.
Well, and it was in the middle of a torrential rain.
Yep.
I mean, he was, literally in Electrocution City. But he went out there and killed it. I couldn't believe it. I was watching him just go with my jaw down. I'm like, he's doing it for real. And wow. And I mean, hats off to you. Not a big fan of his music, but it was fantastic.
Right.
It was really, really impressive to watch, because if you're in the industry, you can see the baloney. And there was no baloney there.
Yeah. Mega Candy Lady asked if I traveled with you and with our baby, with the little ones.
Sometimes.
And occasionally we would. Me and the boys did not, at the time, we only had David and Jonathan. We did not go to Italy. It was too much money, and Jonathan was only a few months old, so it was not a good time to travel overseas with an infant. So. Well,
there's so many stories about that trip, but I'll give you one more. We were pretty poor at the time.
Yes.
I mean, we were literally praying in faith for things like toilet paper.
Yeah.
But the record company said, okay, we'll pay your way, and we'll pay for hotels. That's it. You guys get over there. So we had tubs and tubs and tubs of CDs that we knew we'd sell, but we had to get, there was like 4 days of nothing before we had our first show. And so we had no money. So there's this guy that they had this little alcove, and it was, the store was called Alex Pizza. And he had this big thing of pizza, they'd cut off whatever you need, they weigh it out, and then you would buy it like that.
By the pound.
By the pound. Well, or the kilo, probably.
Oh, yeah, probably.
But the laws there where you're driving are so weird, and our drummer, Reed, he actually got a ticket. He got a ticket, and he's like, oh, man, I got a ticket. And he's talking to Alex Pizza Guy. And Alex Pizza Guy takes the ticket from him, crumbles it up, and throws it in the trash. He says, that's what we do with these. That's what we do with these. And we're like, okay. Baffled.
Yeah.
And then we thought, okay, that's great, it's done. Literally 3 years later, Reed got a ticket in the mail.
No way.
Not kidding.
From Italy.
Yes.
Funny.
Yes.
Well, they can't arrest him for, I mean, what are they going to do? They can't enforce that payment. He's in a different country.
Karen's asking, who did I play for? It was a band, a Christian rock band called Scarecrow and Tin Men. And so for those of you who are clicking to type in Scarecrow and Tin Men, you will not believe the way I looked.
No. Totally different.
Would you describe it? The hair?
Okay. He had a full goatee here. So he had mustache and the bottom part here. It was long and scruffy. Longer than that. And then he was bald from here down. He had a patch of hair on the top of his head like that. Long. And I braided that hair into 6 to 7 braids every few weeks.
So bald here, braids, long.
If you remember Yul Brynner in
The King and I,
years and years ago.
Think
he
that.
had a patch of hair. That's like it was.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
All right, so we are getting ready to go over to the weekend homestead, and Will, I'm sorry for going over just a little bit tonight.
Yeah.
But we're just having a good time.
Yeah.
Having a good time. So before we go, guys, you guys know that we're believers, and we're getting ready to switch gears and say a little quick prayer. So if that kind of thing is something that, offends you or whatever, we're giving you a chance to say goodbye, and we'll see you next week, because I don't feel like it's a good thing to try to be rude to spread the word. So if that's you, good night. If
Have a
not,
good night.
hang out. And here's the thought I've been having all day long. Are we in the end times? I feel like our country is headed for a brick wall, but that does not necessarily mean that we're in the end times. But I'll say this. One weird thing that's been happening for the past 3 years is that I'll talk to people who my friends were back in the day for the band. You meet a lot of people. You have all these relationships that are all over the country and world. And one thing that has been really interesting is about 5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, but at least, maybe 5, it seems like a switch has gone off in everybody's mind, completely disconnected from each other. And they all say, I got to get food for my family. I got to get water. I got to figure out this preparedness thing. And everybody disconnected from one another has been on a rampage to make sure that, they don't know what's coming. And I can't even put my finger on what's coming, but I know something's happening. I mean, when you take a look at, Joseph in the Bible, he basically ended up ultimately saving the nation of Israel. He and his brothers threw him in the pit, took the cloak, sold him, and he was used by God in a miraculous ways and lifted up to a position of authority where he was the boss, second to Pharaoh. And because of his diligence and his submission to God, they put all that food in storehouses, and they made out like bandits, and they lived and they prospered. And I'll say this, I don't know what's coming, but I'm here to tell you something's coming, guys. One of the big reasons why we do this channel at all is so that we have a platform to tell you what we feel is going on in our hearts. I can't describe it. I couldn't tell you. I'm not one of those guys that says, hey, what? It's going to be next week on Sunday. No. Run away from people that say that.
Right.
Run away.
No one knows the time.
Yeah. And, Sharon, my grandmother preached it was the end of times in the 20s and 40s. All I'm saying is that I can feel something as the man of the house. One of my big jobs is to provide and protect for my family. And doggone it, if not, a lot of people are feeling the same thing at the same time, and these are believers. And so I just wanted to encourage you guys that, hey, take a look at what you got. If you had to be, quote, without for a month, would you be okay? Would you be okay with 6 months? I mean, look at the way that Joseph provided for an entire nation because he was obedient to God. And that's a lot of storehouse stuff. I'm just asking you, hey, if it was you, would you be all right? And if it's not, I would just have to say, maybe you should consider setting a little bit aside, saving a few bucks, getting a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm not a fearmonger guy. Yeah, no. But just analyze it. You know what? I would check into it. So here's the thing. Yeah, hey, Tina, I know. We're starting to build our pantry. I know. Trust me, I know. It's something you can't describe, but you know something's coming. Yeah. So with that, we're going to say, and we're going to call it an evening. So, Father God, we come before you, and I say I am so grateful for you, Lord. And I'm so grateful for these people that have come. And I just ask that you would just give them a big old hug tonight. Pick them up and love on them and let them know that you're God and it's going to be all right. That you care for us deeply and you're not willing to let us go. Lord, help us to be more like you. Help us to be slow to anger, quick to forgive, quick to build each other up. We love you, Jesus. Thank you so much. Amen. That's it, guys. Have a great night. We're going to go over to the weekend homestead, and you guys have an amazing night. I'm going to go turn the camera thing off. Let's see. Where's the button?
I don't know.
Yeah. Whoa!
Oh no!
We're down. Do you hit X? I guess.